YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be going over how to fix bad targeting in organic dropshipping, and this is probably why your videos are not converting, okay? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to go from this to this, where we're getting majority of US audience, right? This whole video is assuming that you're trying to target the USA, so let's stop wasting time and get straight to the money, all right? So a couple things that I'm going to be going over during this whole entire lesson, because this will be a detailed lesson. So if you have a pen and paper or you want to write some notes down, go ahead and do so, because you're going to be learning a ton. And none of this makes sense if you don't actually apply it. Okay. So first thing I'm going to be teaching is how to leverage each platform to get the best targeting. Each individual platform that we post for organic dropshipping, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, is different. Okay. Also going to be going over best practices to improve targeting. All right. How I personally like to do things when it comes to only targeting the US as much as possible. All right. Couple other things. We're going to be going through the best markets to target and how to actually fix this big problem for good. This is probably one of the biggest problems with organic dropshippers at the moment, where we just keep on targeting India and these really weird countries that essentially do not convert. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can put this to an absolute end and finally target the US. Okay. So before we actually get into this whole method, we actually need to understand each individual platform because like I mentioned before, each platform is different. So in organic, we are usually posting on these 4 platforms since they have the highest ROI. So like I mentioned, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So let's go over Meta first. And if you guys don't know, Meta is Instagram and Facebook. They're owned by the same people. So Meta has one of the largest international user bases in the world, all right? And it owns some of the biggest social media platforms, like I mentioned, Instagram and Facebook. And India's audience alone is over double the size of the US, right? This is exactly why you keep targeting India so much after you go over like 10 million views, all right? And so despite these changes, Meta is still one of the best platforms to build on because it's massive demographic, older audience, and the long-term longevity it can provide for your products. By far, Instagram is the best platform long-term to focus on when it comes to organic and even building a full-fledged brand, because it has the highest authority in terms of, like, you know, if you have a big Instagram account compared to a TikTok account, it's just, you just have more motion essentially. Also just the platform itself, right? Instagram specifically, when it comes to highlights and stuff, there's just more room for brandability. And I just personally love the platform because it's almost meant to give you the most amount of longevity possible, bro. Like if you actually learn how to split test correctly on Instagram, bro, you could be printing at least 10 to 20K per month for at least like 6 to 7 months. All right. And, this is like real data here, guys. India has 392.5 million users, and look at USA and then all these other countries, bro. Like India just blows everybody out of the water. And unfortunately, like India is one of the biggest places in the world, but they just don't have the buying power essentially to buy our products, right? So this is why India does not convert, all right? Also, this is going to be another graph on Facebook, all right? Specifically Facebook. Again, India users, bro, 403 million users. And just look at the United States, bro, 197 million. Like India literally takes a dump on all of us, and it's one of the biggest issues at the moment, all right? Now, TikTok, my favorite platform when it comes to targeting, okay? So TikTok, on the other hand, is heavily US dominated and is banned in countries like India. Believe it or not, if you guys didn't know that, now you know. So the algorithm is also significantly better at pushing your videos to the right audience and niche compared to Instagram. For some reason, the algorithm on TikTok is just so much better when it comes to targeting your audience, your niche. And in my opinion, it's one of the best. All right. So even if your videos don't always go as viral as much as Meta, because I feel like now with TikTok Shop, users are usually capped at like 10 to 15 million. After that, you're kind of cooked. You're not really going to be pushing past that. As compared to Instagram, bro, you can push a video up to 100 million, right? But like I mentioned, like, just because your videos don't go as viral doesn't mean that it's the worst thing in the world, because I much rather have a, I don't know, million view video, 99% US, 99% my niche, rather than a 100 million view video that is only like 15% US, full of Indians, and the people that are watching my videos aren't really interested in my product because they're not even in that niche, right? At the end of the day, I want people that want to actually buy my product. And I feel like organic is changing every single day. Like, guys, we have to stop worrying too much about views and start worrying about conversions. At the end of the day, I care about the money in my pocket, not the amount of views or, you know, oh, I got 1 billion views with organic. Like, bro, who cares about the views? Let's just focus on the money. And, you know, now with these like very niche concepts that I've been able to do with my personal products, bro, I can get a fucking video at like 100K views and that'll convert to like 5 to 10K. Like, no bullshit. Especially on TikTok, it's just so freaking good, right? So again, the lead quality is higher. And overall, it's just better conversions on TikTok, bro, in my opinion, right? If you really nail down the targeting. So as you guys can see, In terms of countries on TikTok, US is up there for sure. By far the biggest one, then Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico, Pakistan. And like I mentioned earlier, TikTok is currently banned in India, and this is an actual fact, as you guys can see right there. Next thing we got to go over is YouTube, right? So YouTube Shorts is one of the largest global audiences out of all the social medias out there, right? Around 2 billion monthly users, which is actually insane. So Shorts drives huge daily views and strong engagement, but because of the younger audience, unfortunately, they have less disposable income and the CVR just tends to be lower compared to IG, Facebook, and TikTok, right? Where audiences have a stronger purchase intent. As you guys know, YouTube is a very kid-friendly type of, I would say, platform, and shorts wise, because for some reason, just a lot of kids here in the US use YouTube Shorts. But again, don't necessarily forget about YouTube. You should always still be reposting your videos on YouTube. It's just that it's a very, very young audience. And as you guys can see, India is predominantly the main winner here. All right. Like always, bro, 500 million users in 2026, bro. This is fucking crazy. All right. So like I said, I've made a lot of money with YouTube Shorts, whether it's from the actual video, you know, people going into my website, buying my product, or right from the YouTube ad revenue. Because once you actually build up enough subscribers on YouTube and you just make really good content, they start paying you for the amount of views that you get. So I know a lot of people, including myself, that get paid by YouTube just by posting fucking shorts, like really brain rot shorts, and it's essentially all profit, right? But again, YouTube has a very young audience and it's mainly composed of India, and unfortunately it has a very low CVR compared to these other platforms. But again, do not forget, I know students of mine that have done like 10K in a day just from YouTube. All right, shout out Harper if you're watching this, and it's fucking nutty. All right, lastly, we're going to be going over some VPN stuff. All right, so if you're based in the US, do not worry about this too much. Just make sure your TikTok account is created within a US-based email. You're not connected to a VPN, and your IP and device location are consistent. Any VPN or location mismatch can confuse the algo's targeting, right? So if you are trying to target, I don't know, Italian market or Spanish market from the US, just make sure you turn off your VPN to specifically target the US. All right, because I know a lot of you watching this video are maybe from Europe or other parts of the world and you want to target US. So I wanted to add this specific section for you guys because I've been getting tons of DMs from you guys saying yo, what's the best VPN setup? Should I buy another phone? Should I get a dedicated IP? You know, do I use Surfshark? Do I use NordVPN? We're going to go through it. So here we go. All right. So assuming you are outside of the US, you want to change to a US audience, right? Obviously you need to control device location, IP, and SIM. So TikTok constantly categorizes you as a US user. This goes for TikTok and Instagram. And so this is going to be the highest success method for international creators targeting the US. So first things first, you want to get a dedicated phone, bro. This is by far the best thing you could possibly do, preferably a used one, right? You don't got to get a freaking brand new phone for this. Just get a really old iPhone 10, 11, whatever it may be, and just completely factory reset it. Make sure the language is in English. Region should be United States. Location should be New York, okay? Something like that. Now, for VPNs, you want to always have this on. I personally use NordVPN. Keep it on 24/7 and stay on the same US IP. Do not rotate locations. All right, keep everything consistent. Also, US SIM card will be required, right? So you want to use an actual US SIM, which you can go ahead and buy off Amazon. They're really, really cheap. Essentially, the 30-day travel SIMs work really well if you want the cheapest option, and you need to have signal and service or else this method will not work without it. All right. So like I said, you're going to buy a new phone, you're going to use a VPN, you're going to buy US SIM from Amazon, put that chip inside of the phone, and you'll be good to go. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create the TikTok account correctly. Both, again, this is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? You're going to create the accounts with the SIM inserted and already active, right? The VPN should be on and stable. You're going to create the account using a fresh email. Ideally, you want to be using a Gmail. Just for whatever reason, Gmail accounts just do a lot better, especially on Instagram for whatever reason. You're going to want to warm up the account. You're going to scroll your For You page like a normal person, okay? And you should be seeing US creator stuff and content, right? You're going to want to comment, follow, watch the videos naturally, almost like you're trying to prime up a burner. And you're going to spend a lot of time warming up these accounts before posting, right? Quick validation check. These are just a couple of things you want to check. Go to TikTok sounds, specifically on TikTok, and you should see US top 50 sounds. If you don't, something in your setup is off, all right? So pretend like you're about to, I don't know, post a video, click add sound, and then you're going to go down to where it says top sounds, and then US top 50 should be there. If it isn't, there is something wrong in your setup and you did not do something right. So I'm just going to leave this here. If you guys want to go ahead and screenshot this, take a look. Beautiful. So that's for all my European people and people that are just outside of the US. I hope that helped. All right. Now we're going to go over some best practices. All right. I'm going to be going over some of the best practices that I've learned to specifically target your desired market. Again, this is assuming you want to target the US. Mr. Donald Trump here. All right. So let's go over sounds. This goes without saying, but sounds have a massive play in where your video will be shown. Okay. So sounds that I personally like to avoid is any foreign language audios that just isn't English. Okay. Also, funk music or anime edit sounds like that main character shit, stay away from it, right? These sounds often signal the algo to push your content to non-US audiences. Like funk, for example, a lot of Brazilian people listen to it, a lot of Indians listen to it, and just young people that just don't have money, right? So I like to stay away from funk audios, any sort of anime audio too, and most importantly, like foreign language audios. You're kind of cooking yourself by doing that. It really does make sense, right? Now, another thing you're going to start doing as well is called sound research. This is a non-negotiable for me, right? So before using any sound, I like to research it first. So this is how you actually check a sound. So what you're going to do is you're going to search the sound on TikTok or Instagram, right? You're going to look at the creators using it. Are they mostly foreign? Are they using foreign text or captions? Is the comment section dominated by non-US users? If the answer is yes, do not use the sound. All right. This process is called sound research, and it should be a part of your daily posting routine. Okay. And specifically, sounds that perform the best, in my personal opinion, are going to be country, rap, and pop, all based in the US. Okay. These are sounds that are widely recognized in the US, signal American culture, and help you push your content to a US based audience, right? Key takeaways here are going to be sounds equals audience signals, right? Bad sound choice equals wrong country. Good sound choice equals better targeting, higher quality reach, more money in your pocket. So let me go ahead and show you exactly how this looks like. So let's assume that you're trying to find your favorite sound on TikTok, right? And for this instance, I want to show you guys something when it comes to funk music, right? So if you go ahead and search up funk music, you're going to see that it's a lot of edits, right? Specifically these anime type edits right here. Okay. So if I go ahead and take a look at this sound, there's about 5,749 videos, and a lot of these are just anime, right? Anime, soccer edits too, and just very foreign type of people, right? So if I'm scrolling and I'm looking over this audio, this is a signal to me that I probably should not use it, because by nature, right, soccer will attract foreign audiences. Soccer is mainly played in in Europe and South America, definitely not a lot here in the US, right? US is really dominated by American football. And so when I see this type of stuff and I click on the audio and the edits, bro, it's just a whole bunch of people from other countries. I'm assuming this is like Portuguese or something like that. But again, I like to stay away from all this shit because it's just a lot of foreign people, bro. Just a lot of foreign people. Now, opposed to this, what I like to do is go for music that is mainly in the US audience, right? So if I search up, I don't know, country music, right? Country music is only listened in the US that I know of, right? And so as you guys can see, let's say I'm looking for an audio, bada bing, bada boom. All right, so as you guys can see, I went ahead and typed in country right in the search bar, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click on this random video right here. And this song is called Make Me Wanna. You guys can go ahead, that 46,000 people use this audio, and as you guys can see, these are all American people, right? We're seeing blonde people with blue eyes. All the captions are in English, as well as the text hooks. And again, we're not seeing any sort of foreign people, right? So recently, I've been running a lot of country type of products because of this main reason, right? The targeting is literally like 98% US. And so conversions are going to be that much better because nobody else in the world, right, listens to country music but Americans. Okay. So this is going to be a very good example of sound research. All right. And I mean, this goes beyond targeting as well, guys. If you guys want to find audios in your niche, this should be standard, right? Apart from content research, right? So obviously you're trying to find the right concepts for your videos, but you also want to find the right audios to pair up with those concepts to relate that much more to the niche, right? So again, this is something that should be part of your routine. Every single time you go ahead and, try and brainstorm a certain video, you need to start doing sound research. And if you want to, start running products that have to do with, American audiences. All right. So piggybacking off of this, niches, right? why niches affect where your video is shown, right? The niche you choose directly influences what countries your content is going to be shown, right? So we want to focus on US dominant niches. So we want to prioritize niches that are mainly popular in the United States. So for example, let's say you're running a product tied to rugby, right? Rugby is primarily outside of the US. And so the result of that would be a, very foreign audience, not American. Even if your content is in English, the niche itself determines who sees it, right? So the niche will always be king here. Even though the language would be in English, like, bro, the algorithm is still going to detect, okay, he's targeting rugby players, he's showing rugby content. We're just going to show it to people that would actually relate to this. And 9 out of 10 times, they won't be American, right? So now, how do we actually validate a niche? This is when we want to go ahead and use Google Trends. So before entering any niche, you want to validate it, right? You're going to go to Google Trends, you're going to search your product or niche keyword, you're going to set the location to worldwide, look at which countries show the most interest. And again, if the majority of interest is outside of the US, proceed with caution. I'm not saying like entirely like don't run it, but just know that you might get some bad traffic. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take a look here into Google Trends, right? So for the sake of this video, I went ahead and searched up the term book girl, just because we've been seeing a lot of conversions when it comes to this very particular small niche. For some reason, book girls convert amazingly. And so for this example, I'm going to go ahead and show you this, right? So right now, what I'm seeing here is Google Trends. And if I go ahead and take a look here into this category, we're going to go ahead and click worldwide. We're going to see the data from the past 5 years. Okay. We want to make sure this is a little bit more long-term. We're going to search up all categories, web search. And as you guys can see, if we look here, interest by region, US is king here, right? US, Australia, New Zealand, very high converting countries. And the UK. We also have a little bit of Sri Lanka here, but the majority is US. So this is the reason why the book niche not only converts so well, but really targets the US. This is why a lot of people right now on organic are printing with this niche, because it's predominantly high converting countries. And apart from that, you guys can see like interest over time as well. The book niche is a growing niche. And if we go ahead and take a look right here at this graph, starting from 2021, we're seeing exponential growth till 2026. And this is only going to be a bigger niche as time goes on. So if you're watching this video, you should probably hop on this because you're missing out, right? Apart from that, you guys can go ahead and take a look at related topics, related queries, right? Depending on what type of books you want to maybe target in the book niche. You guys can see that fourth wing right here is number 4. And I personally ran something like this with fourth wing and they fucking print. So again, you guys could even take a look at related genres inside of the niche if you really wanted to hammer down on like that niche content, right? So again, this is an absolute glitch. And you guys need to start using Google Trends for every product that you potentially want to run under a certain niche. Like this is something that's standard in my routine. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out. And this could potentially be saving you a lot of time, because let's say you wanted to get into, I don't even know. Let's say you were running the POV cam and all of a sudden somebody told you, yo, you should run, I don't know, the soccer niche. So let's use soccer POV. Boom, all of a sudden it's like South Africa, just weird countries. Actually, let's not even do soccer POV. It's like too weird. Let's go ahead and just search up soccer, right? Bro, just like random countries, right? Like US isn't even going to be here, right? Another one you can go ahead and maybe search is like Demon Slayer, right? Demon Slayer, one of the biggest animes out there. Top countries, Mongolia, Philippines, right? You're not seeing the US. This is why I personally don't even like to target anime, because it's just a very, very foreign type of genre, type of niche. And US is just not even in the picture, bro. If I go ahead, show 74 regions, bro, US is number 12, 33%. So not really good, right? So again, start using Google Trends. It'll save you a lot of time and money. And I mean, yeah. So like I mentioned, we want to actually target proven US only niches, right? Ideally, if we want to only target the US as much as possible, right? So country music and culture, it's almost exclusively American, right? People that listen to country are mostly in America, super high converting. Another thing too, certain sports inside of the US that are only played here, American football and baseball, okay? These niches are deeply rooted into US culture. They're not really played anywhere else. So again, you can also look into US sports. Now, niches that require extra research. Some niches exist in the US but are global first. Like I mentioned, soccer is a very good example because soccer is played in the US, but majority of fans and players are outside of the country. So these niches can still work, but only if you study the audience carefully before entering, okay? So a couple of key takeaways here. US dominant niche equals US reach. Global niche, mixed or foreign reach. So again, always study the niche before committing. Like I said, soccer niche isn't really that bad because right now, like the World Cup's about to like happen in June, July. So again, it's going to be played here in the US. So it probably wouldn't be the worst idea to run a product like that. But again, just expect other people from other countries to engage with your videos just because the sport, right, is played everywhere in the world. Alrighty, so now I'm going to be going over exactly how I personally remove certain countries from certain platforms and basically just eliminate them from watching my videos. So we're going to be going over Instagram first, and Instagram is a little bit trickier. So with Instagram, you could lower the chances of targeting certain countries by placing an age restriction. They currently don't really have an actual way of restricting certain countries at this very moment. So what you're going to go ahead and do is first check if your targeting is actually cooked, right? Guys, give it some time. Give it at least 2 weeks of testing before you go ahead and assume that your targeting is cooked, right? Usually, like I mentioned, it's going to be your sound and your product, right? And what niche you're targeting. So if those are in check, you should be good. But if this still keeps on going on where like you're only targeting 98% India, 98% Brazil, then okay, your targeting might actually be cooked, right? So step one, check if your targeting is actually cooked. Step two, you're going to go into your settings, right? You're going to look up business tools and controls. You're going to click this button. So now you're going to go ahead and see all these options when you go ahead and click that button, and you want to click minimum age. And so we want to make sure that we put the minimum age to 25 years old, and I'll explain it to you in a little bit, right? So you want to add the minimum age to lower converting countries, right? So what you're going to do is you're not going to click default. You're going to click by country. So you're going to click add, and you're going to add all the countries that you keep on targeting that aren't high converting, right? So whether that's India, Brazil, whatever it may be, you're going to click that country and you're going to make sure that the minimum age is 25 years old. This is just what I've seen works well for me and a lot of people inside of full stack ecom because for some reason it just almost eliminates like 80 to 70% of the population, right? So we want to make sure that 25 years old is our main age here, right? So once we do that, you should be good to go, right, with Instagram. Like I said, there's no actual way of doing it at the moment where like you can go ahead and just eliminate a certain country. You just have to go ahead and add a specific age, okay? So click this button, 25 years old, India, whatever country it may be that you keep targeting that doesn't convert, should be good, all right? Now, we're going to go over Facebook. So with Facebook, you can directly restrict certain countries from seeing your content. Just make sure you're logged into your page, right? You want to make sure you're on a page and not a personal account, okay? So with Facebook, you want to check if your targeting is actually cooked, right? So what I did here was I took a screenshot of my current product that I'm running on Facebook. And as you guys can see, bro, it's just a lot of Philippines, Bangladesh. It's only 11% US, right? So I checked the stats, right? I checked my professional dashboard and I saw that I was like, oh, fuck, bro, I'm so cooked with the targeting, right? So again, step one, check if your targeting is actually cooked. Step two, inside settings and privacy, look up country restrictions right here. You're going to click that. Now you're going to restrict whatever country you want. So what you're going to do with restriction type, you're going to go ahead and just keep this the same. And now you're going to go ahead and pick the countries that are low converting. So for this example, it would be Philippines, Bangladesh, Egypt, South America, and Nigeria. Okay. So that's pretty much how you do it on Facebook. It's a lot easier than Instagram, but for now, these are just the main two platforms that I restrict countries on. Because like I said, TikTok is my bread and butter, and I really never had issues with targeting on TikTok. So yeah, that's how you do it for Instagram and Facebook. And so now, lastly, I'm going to be going over the best markets to target, right? This is the last piece of information that you guys need to actually make all of this work, is to focus on the best markets to target. So never ever remove these countries from your list. So US is king, then comes Canada, UK, Australia, Germany, France, Netherlands, Sweden, Switzerland, New Zealand, Italy, right? Never remove these markets, okay? These are high converting markets that actually make money. And these are gonna be the best by far to target when it comes to just organic dropshipping, right? So never like remove these out of your list because they're really good and they actually convert. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the whole entire video. Pretty short and sweet here. Hopefully you guys did understand a little bit more about targeting and why it actually plays a very big role in how much money and how well your products convert. Because again, if your products are only being seen to Indians and very low converting countries that mainly just don't have the spending power to buy your product, doesn't really matter how viral you go, how good your content is, you're never going to make money. And that's by far one of the biggest problems we've seen inside of my inner circle with a lot of my students that come to me for help is like, yo, why am I going so viral? Why is my content so good, but I'm not converting, right? But the moment you actually put a fix in this, right, where, you know, before your dashboard used to look like this, and now all of a sudden you're seeing 93% US, bro, you suddenly start making a lot more money. And I'm not even joking. If you guys take a look right here, we're inside the Wins chat of Full Stack Ecom, which is my one-on-one mentorship. And you guys go ahead and see for yourselves. The results have been insane lately. This is AJ. He woke up to a 1K day. Literally today, it's the 26th of February as I'm recording this. Yesterday, bro, Elias hit a 15K day all the way from France. Bro was literally hitting like his first 5K month like a couple of weeks ago. Now he's doing 15 racks in a day, making someone's salary in one day, bro. We even have Harper too. He's just started testing 2 new products that I handpicked for him. And as you guys can see, first product he ran, $800 day, first day. Second product, almost a 2.5K day, first day of running it, okay? We also have Ivan. He just joined the program literally like a couple of weeks ago. First ever sale with organic. Bro had no idea what organic was before this. Same thing with Lachey. Same thing with Jeff, joined like a month ago, already hitting a 2K month. CDIM, first ever sale. Damien, first ever sale, bro, says he feels like Tony Montana. Let's go, bro. We have Mark here, finally breaking the 1-day curse, dude. This guy was probably hitting a 1K day for like literally a week straight, not even bullshitting, and he finally broke it 2 days ago with a 2.5K day with, again, another product that I handpicked for him. Okay, so we have absolute killers in here. Everyone is actually printing because not only do you need help with targeting, but you also need help with finding the right product, the right vehicle to take you to these kinds of results, right? Like Jaden, bro. Jaden just hit his first ever 10K month with organic after a year of doing the business model and not seeing results. We literally been working for 2 months, okay? Like I said, bro, the results speak for themselves. If you guys want to go ahead and join and actually work with me one-on-one, you guys go ahead and take a look at the first link in the description, apply and see if you're a right fit. But other than that, guys, I'm going to end the video off here. I'm still in February. I can go for literally ever. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment to what you guys want to see next in terms of content, because I will be checking each individual comment. I'm still scrolling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.